Namaskara. My name is Dr. Haralu, Bullappa, Assistant Professor of Economics, Government First Year College, Hagaribommanahalli from Ballari. Today I am going to discussion about the COVID-19 effect on industries. Today, all over the globe, these virus have been strongly affected on majority of the industries, and they have been cut off the billions of jobs for the globe and for the nations. The world have been today changed in a drastic manner, how it is affected on the majority of the industry. Just I have given some of industries I have listed out. But these COVID-19, these virus have been affected the majority of the industry, that is the job marketing. Today, the educated peoples and the technical aspects in that way, those we have called the big boss of the world, the United States of America, have been shut down. The millions of people are suffering from the jobless. They are going and running through their mother countries. These job industry, job marketing have been comes down. And the retail industries, the majority of the countries, a country like India, the 130 crores of people, the second highest populations in India, these retail industries have been secured many profit areas, and they have been cut off the many of the jobs for the youth. And the next one is traveling industry. This is a very important aspect, that is the luxurious peoples, those who are having the huge wealth, they are interested to travel in the air, in the water, and by the road transport. These transport systems now it is cut off. This is have been loss of billion of rupees for every country. These traveling industries are shut down. And the tourism department, this is the main aspects. A country like India, it is the multi-dimensional culture have been in India. India have getting more revenue from the tourism department. Now these virus have been locked down the people in the houses. This tourism department have been many huge losses. And the hospitalities, that hotel, restaurants have been closed. This is the main aspect. The many people, those who are living in the cities, they are dependent on the hotels and the restaurants. They are supplying the food every day. These hotels and restaurants have been closed down. This is the big loss for these industries. And the automotive sector. This is the automotive sector called as the technical aspects. These technical industries have been closed. This is also an effect. That is next is in the recreation. Recreation means the cinemas have been closed down. Country like India, the many theaters are running, and they are telling the big movies like they are suffering the 100 crores, 500 crores of profits for every cinema. This is come down last 2 months. This will strongly affect on cinema industries. And the local transport. This is the main job occupation for the industries like autos. In the mega cities like Bangalore, Mumbai, the many millions of auto drivers, they have been lost their jobs. They have to suffering for daily life, and they have to be suffering for the majority of their food grains. And the Ola cabs and the many like these emergency traveling systems, Uber, Olas, autos, these local transports have been stopped. This is affecting strongly for those, the middle class peoples, those having less income. They are suffering daily their routine life. And the next is the luxury products. The peoples have been stopped there buying the luxury products. Those, if I have owning the one car, I'm ready to purchase another BMW car, I'm going to purchase another bike. These luxury items have been stopped because of these virus. The marketing structure have been stopped across the globe. These luxury items have been stopped. This is the strong effect for the luxury industries, those who are producing the luxury goods. And the majority is the live sport. This is an important aspect. Country like India, we are strongly dependent in the live. This month it is happening, the Indian Premier League cricket. This is happening, the millions of rupees profits to they are selling the rights to the television company like sports companies. This is occurring losses. The live sports like IBPL, Indian Badminton League, and Pro Kabaddi League, and Indian cricket like BCC have been the world international cricket. It has been lost the many dollars in their lives, and also sports persons also suffering because of this live sports stop. And the real estate, the country like India, the many people are interested to buy the lands and registration. These registration stamp duties have been stopped. India country has stopped their revenue from the real estate industries. The per day, this is lakhs, millions of rupees comes through the real industry. These real industries have been stopped. And the oil and the gas, the OPEC countries have been stopped. Transport, communication for the oil and petroleum products. There is no, the people's hall. We are all living in the houses. There, no one can permissions to travel with the vehicles. That's why the oil products, the first time in the OPEC countries, the crude oil per barrel, it is becoming negative rupees. We can sell the crude oil freely. You can take the crude oil and less than $1. This is the first time in the economic situations. The crude oil rates have been comes down negative rates. This is the important effect for the oil and the gas industries. That's also happening. The film industries, actors, they are strongly dependent actors in their activities, but their activities have been stopped. These film industries have gone through the losses. Technical gadgets, mobiles, laptops, and advanced gadgets productions have been stopped, and transport communication have been stopped. The people are suffering these gadgets losses for gadgets industries. Loss. Automobile and manufacturing industries are getting huge losses. Before the coronavirus, India have been already in the losses of automobile and manufacturing industries gone through. And these industries, some of the majority industries have been affecting because of this lockdown. And come off the sum of where the changes, there some concept how we can change. That is this concept. Number one, the world has been changed their situations. Now we can change the situation. Now we are living in that area. That's why we are changing the situations. We have to live like this, or we are avoiding these luxury life. We can do living like a common peoples. Then adoption is the key. We can adapt the simple life, because this shutdown implies on the peoples and the youth. You have to live like this, not like this. Because of these adoptions, I have been adjusted to the life last 2 to 3 months in the world. This can changes this effect. And the survival of the quickest. We will not want any fitness. We have to adjust quickly for the situations. What situation is having last 3 months, the people's having go through the quickest adjustment for these things. That's what these industries have been suffering. And the force to the entrepreneurships. And the next we have changes the entrepreneurship situation, forcing in the next coming years you can start in any industries, or you can become any entrepreneurs, and in a quickly manner you can get the more profit. That is, the nature will guiding, nature will guide the lessons to the peoples in the forthcoming years. This is, we have changed their forms. Adoption is the key for the peoples, and the survival quickly and the forceful for entrepreneurship in the nations, and the nature will guide you how to live. These some concept will changes these situations. And what are the changes in the world? Because of these effects, and industries have been stopped and affecting huge losses. There's a social interaction have been started in the people between the work style have been changes. If I am working as a technical aspect, if I am an engineer, if I am a doctor, the work nature have been completely changes. The internet users have been drastically changes and rising because of the youth peoples have been using the televisions, mobiles, and the games. These situations have been, the internet users have been, there's a more health conscious, and health concepts have been adopted by the peoples, and the less pollution. It is the important nature have been given the God gift, the nature wise quite naturally, and their respirating systems as good oxygen for every people. This is what happening. And the peoples are getting less priorities. We will not get more food, luxurious hotels, star hotels, and airports have been closed, no traveling. We have less options. less priorities and business models and changes. We are working with the houses and the families. We are giving more time and expenses will drop continuously. We have a lot of money. Some people, they are putting their money in their houses, but they don't want, but there's no chance to buying because of all great and huge mahals have been closed down. These because of these expenditures have been come down, and the education system drastically changes. We are going through the online classes. We are taking trainings from the online. This is the food system also changes. We have no ready-made food. We are settled for the homemade food, and the entertainment. This is also getting only home entertainment. All recreations have been stopped, and the environment in feeling freshly. This is the situations we are feeling because of this COVID-19. What are these winning industries? Some after these effects, we are immediately adjusting for the digital profits. So if these situations have been cut off and these have been closed, we are going to immediately for the digital product and the gig economy and the small paying peoples. Like this Auto, Uber, Ola, like these gig economic have been the stock marketing, investing have been collapsed, and this is the situations have been comes because of this. The many industries and suffer across the globe. Many people's suffering and industries have been comes down because of these virus. This is not an expected. It's an unexpected things have been affected on the industrial sectors. We have to be changed, we have to be adjust, and we have to be re-innovation, and we have to be readjust the economy across the globe. This have been takes time, and these are some ideas I have explained on the industrial effects because of COVID-19.